LiberalViewer presents.
So Fox News has been spreading misinformation about marijuana for quite a while, as you can see, for example, by clicking on my July 2007 video titled Fox News Gets Reefer Madness Over So-Called Killer Marijuana, which is why, with a kind of marijuana legalization on the ballot in California as Proposition 19 this November, it's not surprising to see our friends at Fox picking up the pace on the marijuana misinformation in a series called Going to Pot that included a segment on Fox and Friends last Friday that began with this clip.
Let's talk pot. Jails are packed and busting at the seams with people convicted for the possession of pot. Really? That's what advocates for legalizing marijuana claim. But is that just a myth used as propaganda for their cause? Joining us now is a former drug addict who opposes the legalization of marijuana, Bishop Ron Allen.
Now notice how the brown-haired guy who's not Steve Ducey there introduced the segment with a classic straw man argument, meaning instead of going to the Yes on 19 webpage and getting a strong argument in favor of legalization, talking about the millions in criminal justice savings from ending the over 60,000 yearly marijuana arrests in California, the Fox News anchor and his guests concentrate on the number of people in state prison for marijuana possession, even though state prison is for felonies and marijuana possession is almost always a misdemeanor, as you can see in the continuation of that Fox News segment here.
Bishop, is that what you find to be the truth, that our prisons are teeming with those caught with pot in their bong?
Absolutely not. The drug legalizers want us to believe that our prisons are filled and overflowing with otherwise law-abiding individuals that are casual users and occasional users, but that's not the truth.
Now, what's not the truth is attributing the straw man argument there to supporters of legalization, but what was even weaker about former drug addict Bishop Ron Allen's presentation was the way he strawmanned his own argument by actually going on to admit that prisons are overcrowded because of those convicted of other marijuana crimes that would be minimized by legalization, like manufacturing, cultivating, distributing, and trafficking in marijuana, as you can see in his next argument here.
Our prisons are filled with criminals that have been convicted of drug trafficking, that have been convicted of manufacturing, cultivating, distributing of marijuana. And so this fear-mongering that the drug legalizers are trying to conjure up, it's a myth and an illusion, right, just to get votes.
And in case you think Fox News bears no responsibility for Bishop Allen's nonsensical straw manning of the pro-legalization position, you can next see Fox News helpfully provide its own chart showing how marijuana possession, which again is almost always a misdemeanor, doesn't put many people in state prison, which again is for felonies, with the Fox News anchor trying to bolster the bishop's bogus claim here.
That backs up your claim.
Well, absolutely. What we see here is that they want to talk about the disproportionate of arrest, and they want to say that blacks are targeted in regards to going to prison.
Right.
What an absolute forest, what an absolute lie, right, that they're telling to the community.
And that's where Bishop Allen's argument really gets disingenuous, because just being black doesn't give him the authority to refute the race discrimination that's pretty clear in California marijuana arrests that you can see in charts like this one and this one. And all the accompanying statistics in the recent Drug Policy Alliance study you can find at tinyurl.com/targetingblacks, but none of those actual facts made it into the Fox News segment, where the Fox News anchor again prompted his guests to spread more misinformation by raising that old marijuana is a gateway drug myth that you can see here.
Bishop, are you under the belief that it is a gateway drug? Yeah, pot has some get addicted to pot, but also it leads to other drugs?
And that softball question elicited the somewhat strange, rambling, virtually fact-free response you can see here.
Well, no doubt about it. Listen, I was on crack cocaine for 7 years of my life, and I hear individuals saying to me that pot cannot be a gateway drug. It is absolutely a gateway drug. The THC in pot today is so high that it causes individuals' minds to be in such an array, or that it's amazing.
That last part sounded like an endorsement of marijuana almost, but Bishop Allen also included 2 marijuana myths, the one exaggerating the strength of today's drug, as well as the old marijuana is a gateway drug myth, both of which are debunked again by the Drug Policy Alliance, this time on their page at drugpolicy.org/marijuana/facts-myths, and that means Fox News really spread a lot of myths for a segment that began by asking viewers,
Is that just a myth used as propaganda for their cause?
so what do you think? Who here is really using myths as propaganda for their cause? Supporters of marijuana legalization or Fox News? And given the poor quality of this Fox News anti-marijuana propaganda, will marijuana legalization finally succeed at the state level in the California election this November?
I YouTube, you decide.